Hello neighbor, this is Curt with eTrailer, and today we're going to take a look at the Yakima StageTwo platform bike rack on our 2025 Toyota Sienna. Now if you've had experience with this bike rack, or if you check this video out and you've got some questions about it, go ahead and drop those in the comments below. We love to hear those and use them to help our other neighbors make the best decisions. So if you're looking for a platform bike rack that is going to give you plenty of clearance behind your van and also be able to hold maybe that heavy e-bike that you've got, the StageTwo is an excellent option. It'll allow up to 70 pounds per bike, and the weight of the rack itself is around 64 pounds. So as long as the vehicle and the hitch can handle at least 200 pounds of tongue weight, you should be just fine with it. So as far as how the StageTwo fits on the Sienna, we're going to grab a few measurements. The first one I want to take is basically just how far out from the bumper is this going to stick, because with the bike fully loaded in the rack back here, you are going to have a little bit of interference with your rear view camera, so knowing what kind of footprint this is leaving behind you is a pretty crucial piece of information. So from the bumper to the furthest part of the bike rack here, we are just under 37 inches. So keep in mind there's about an extra 3 feet of rack here behind you whenever you're backing into one of those spaces. As far as ground clearance goes, we're sitting at 18.5 inches, and that's a pretty good amount of ground clearance. And this design certainly helps us out because, as you can see from this profile, it is a tiered design, stadium seating if you will. It's going to get a little higher as we move further away from the bumper, and that's really going to help keep our ground clearance nice and deep. That way, if we have any of those big inclines or steep driveways, we really don't have to worry quite as much about those. It's also important to know just how high off of the ground these bikes are sitting, because if you have one of those heavy 70-pound e-bikes, this is about 17.25 inches off the ground. If you have a heavier bike like that, I would suggest picking up the Yakima StageTwo ramp, which is also available here at eTrailer, in order to assist you getting those heavier bikes up and down off of the rack. So as far as about how much clearance you have between the bike and the back of the van, I'm really not worried about this all. This bike, it does have a wider handlebar, and even if you're really on a really bumpy road, I'm not feeling any sort of danger of this hitting my back window and breaking it at all. Plus, you might be wondering, will the tilt-away on this bike rack allow me into my liftgate on the Sienna? So we're going to just come around here. I'm going to just give it a little bit of pressure up to take the weight off of it. Pull that lever back and gently lower it down to the ground. And as you can see, it doesn't even rest on the ground. Even though this hitch is a little lower, it doesn't rest on the ground to do any damage to the bike rack itself. Now, this is a bike with 14.5-inch handlebars, and the liftgate is going to clear it just barely, but just keep in mind, if you've got anything bigger than like 15-inch handlebars, there's a chance that this liftgate might actually hit it on the way up or down. So I'm just going to come around and close this. But this is going to leave plenty of room to get in and out of the back of your vehicle. If you need to change shoes, grab extra equipment, whatever it may be, you can do it with the bikes loaded up on your bike rack. And to get it back into its seated position, we're just going to lift up until we hear that loud audible click. That means we're back in our upright position. Now, as far as how the bike is carried on the StageTwo, it is a wheel mount. It cannot be mounted to the frame. So if you've got a carbon fiber frame or a custom paint job, this is a perfect option for you. However, if you have a bike with fenders, you may want to take another look at some of the bike racks that are a frame mount. But the way this is mounted is right here with this hook and post. There's a wheel strap in the back that ratchets for the back wheel. And taking it on and off of here is actually really, really easy. I also wanted to let you know that there is an included cable lock built into each post that can be wrapped around your bike, reattached, and it is key-to-like to the other locks on our bike rack. But in order to get this off, I'm going to come back here and undo my rear strap. Just kind of feed that through and out of our way. Then I'm just going to grab the bike by the frame. There's a little button here on the side of the lever. I'm going to depress that, lift it up, and clear it out of the way. Now, if I had one of those heavier e-bikes with the ramp, I'd just simply roll it right down the ramp. In the case of today, though, I could just lift it right off. And now I'm ready to hit the trail. So when you're driving around without the bike on your rack, we do have a stowaway position for it. We're going to use that same lever that we used for the tilt-away, except this time we're just simply going to lift up instead of letting it down. So once we hear that loud click, we know we're locked into place here. And now we significantly reduce that footprint that we put back behind our bumper. If we come down here and take a measurement, we are just under 13 inches as far as the space being taken up. So that really cut it down by about a third. If you remember, it was about 37 inches with the bike rack deployed. So now, when it is in this upright position, we are going to have some things being blocked out. Our license plate is completely blocked out. Our rear view camera in all likelihood is going to be, if not partially obstructed, just completely obstructed. But our taillights do seem to be pretty clear as far as any sort of obstruction. So for the most part, this should be very, very safe going down the road. But if you do feel like going that extra mile and making sure you and other drivers are safe, there is a light and license kit available for the Yakima StageTwo right here at etrailer.com. So that was a look at the Yakima StageTwo platform bike rack on our 2025 Toyota Sienna. I'm Curt with eTrailer. Thanks for stopping by.